Hey everybody, Dr. Dan Cooper here, wellness physician and founder of Revolution After Dust Off. I've been getting a lot of questions about alcohol lately, so I figured I would address these questions to you. Some of the questions revolve around performance, aesthetics, addiction, all these kinds of things. So I'm going to hit a few of these topics. From a aesthetic standpoint and a performance standpoint, there are some pretty significant considerations that go along with consuming alcohol. For example, from a caloric standpoint, let's go that way first. Carbohydrates and protein, they both have 4 calories per gram of that substance. Fat has 9 calories per gram of fat, and alcohol has 7 calories per gram. Well, along with alcohol, you have no nutrients that go along with it. So it is a very high caloric value food, if you can call it a food, without any nutrients to back it up. Plus, it requires a lot of nutrients to detoxify and digest and eliminate alcohol. It's considered a poison by the body. So not only is it not providing you with nutrients, it's also depleting you of nutrients just by way of it being in your system. So some of those things that get depleted are vitamin A, all the B vitamins, and calcium, one of your essential minerals. So not a good deal. Malnutrition via alcohol is pretty uncool. From a disease standpoint, it is a precursor or potentiator of so many diseases. Damn. Keeping on with performance. So anemia, let's go with that as one of our first disease states that can go along with alcoholism or alcohol consumption. And by decreasing these B vitamins and their availability, you can develop anemia. And anemia is the either malformation or decrease in number of red blood cells. Red blood cells carry oxygen. Oxygen is used for exercise. So by decreasing your red blood cell count or quality, you're decreasing your ability to perform aerobic exercise. Some other stuff we have in here is the things you might think of: cirrhosis, fatty liver disease. These are things that are really replacing liver cells, which have so many functions, with fatty tissue. So you're decreasing the amount of actual functional liver cells you have, and then you can progress into liver cancer from this. It's really a slippery slope. Decreased testosterone. That is a very common thing that goes along with alcohol consumption, and screw that. Nobody wants that. Cancer, everything causes cancer. This is one of those things. It is a potentiator for cancer in some organ systems. It's not just the liver. The pancreas is another one, and pancreatitis is another one of those conditions that can go along with alcohol consumption. Pancreas it's important. It produces all of your digestive enzymes, and it also produces your insulin. So you really want your pancreas cranking at a high level. Dementia and depression. Here's a couple of cognitive diseases that go along with alcohol consumption. And I don't know if that's all that far of a cry. You've got a central nervous system depressant, which alcohol is, and the central nervous system is the brain and spinal cord. So if you depress those functions, bad things happen. And when you think of the acute effects of alcohol, you get that really, it's like swingy moodiness, whether you're a happy drunk or a sad drunk. There's some kind of swingy moodiness, and you have decreased executive functions, the decision-making, planning, those sorts of things, and memory. You start doing that over longer periods of time, and those effects become a little more of a permanent piece of your life. So those are less than cool side effects that go along with long-term alcohol consumption. There's some other things like seizures and gout. I pass over them like they're nothing, but seizures totally uncool. Gout is funny. Red wine is worse for gout than other things, but gout is horrible. I've had patients with gout, and they talk about it being like ninjas, and they're just like slinging those Chinese stars around, stabbing their joints. It hurts so bad. And decreased immunity is another one. That's, how important is your immune system? Immune system is integral in helping you stay healthy as far as sickness goes, but it's also part of your cleanup and rebuilding system for recovery. So from your getting those gains perspective, you want a functioning, healthy immune system as well. The last one I have on here is fetal alcohol syndrome. Now, one of those things that goes along with drinking is decreased decision-making and planning. So quite often, along with drinking, goes sex. And bad decisions get made. Now, some of those bad decisions are, who's that I'm waking up next to? That's yuck. But other things are things like protection and forgetting to do that or not planning for that. And say you get pregnant and then you keep on the alcohol consumption, and now you just damaged your fetus in a permanent way. That's a pretty terrible thing to do. So, I'm not a drinker, so all these reasons are very easy for me to say, well, yeah, that's plenty of reasons for me not to drink. Then people will kind of jump in and they say, well, what about these health benefits I hear about with alcohol? Doesn't it decrease heart disease risk? Well, in very low levels, sure. It's a blood thinner and decreases clotting at low levels. Interestingly, at moderate to high levels of drinking, it increases blood clotting. So, sure, a drink a week would be fine. I mean, if you do that, then cool. But most people aren't that person. So, the general recommendation is for overall health, but also performance gains, those kinds of things. Alcohol is not really your friend. And that's my stance on it. I did get a question recently about the social aspect of drinking. And I'm not going to get into this in this video, but if you have to drink to be social, there's something else going on in your life or in your social sphere that isn't appropriate. I mean, we're all people. We should be able to hang out with other people and be totally cool without being intoxicated. So that's what I've got to say about that. I might address it later in more depth, but that's what I think for now. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and you can grab a little of this information and bring it into your decision-making fold. Thanks.